What is this?
Okay, this is how you do a dance break.
NCT Dream Time!
I'm seated. This looks cool.
NCT Dream, okay.
You will be reacting to 2 tracks off of the boy group NCT Dream's latest 2024 EP titled Dreamscape. Wow.
Official audio.
This intro track sets the tone for a journey of self-discovery and limitless ambition. The track emphasizes embracing dreams and navigating life's challenges with resilience and hope. NCT Dream sing, "A place where I can always be myself, trying to wake up and fly away. Even without wings, I can reach anywhere. I ride the wind far away in a blink of an eye up to the clouds." The song is composed by Pontus Onai Calm and Jacob Lindell. If you're hearing this right now, that means this video isn't monetizable, nor is it sponsored. Instead, this video is brought to you by you, our YouTube members and supporters on Patreon. Patreon and YouTube memberships are how viewers like you can support our team and also gain access to tons of exclusive content. We post almost daily reactions to both old and new K-pop songs, along with a weekly podcast. Here's a sneak peek of one of our latest episodes.
Like you said, the harmonies are very satisfying, and I also wanted to point out the structure is also really satisfying as well. I think there's a good mix of like a really catchy chorus and then like also kind of a catchy beat drop right after. For me, this song made a lot of sense as a title track when I was listening through the album because it felt kind of like an extension of what Sound World, the intro, was trying to introduce with all the vocal shots, the pads, the kind of like shuffle bass. I don't think it was as complicated as the intro, but I think that's also what adds to its appeal.
In 2024, we even added a new series where we rank every title track and single in an artist's discography. If you want to become a patron or YouTube member to help our channel continue and to access over 1,000 exclusive videos, check out the description of this video for how to join. Thank you so much to all of you who already support us. We really couldn't keep doing this without you. And now, back to the video. 3, 2, 1, let's go!
Oh yes. Ooh. Guitar right off the bat.
Where's the downbeat? The boom, boom, boom.
Hello?
That was great sound design at the beginning.
This thing is like great.
Little post-production effects.
Why does the guitar follow the syncopation?
The syncopation is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Cool, chill vibe.
That snare is super clean. Got a little bit of that. Slightly minimal. Yeah.
Is that Jisung?
Oh, wait, I like that. The subtle beat in the middle.
It sounds like a muted snare or tom.
Yeah. Bassless in Scape.
Ooh, that's cool.
What effects are on the percussion?
Very low-key, very minimal.
Oh, I like that sound.
Yeah. Oh, there's the chorus. Yeah.
Interesting synths.
You can hear the harmonies, like little murmur.
That's a really fast tambourine.
Tambourine.
It's interesting how they're using pads instead of like an actual drum set. This is like purely electronic.
Oh.
What is this?
Okay, this is how you do a dance
Oh my
break.
god.
This is so like EDM, but not.
Alright. Wait, I bet I can transcribe this rhythm.
Dreamscape.
Now it's hyper. Oh my god.
Oh. It's like vibrating the inside of my head in such a strange way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Huh, we're back at the chorus.
Yeah!
I guess basically it was just a bridge.
Adlib.
I'm a little distracted by what just came before, but I'm trying to be present right
A little distracted.
Oh, that's kind of interesting. That was very interesting.
That was very
It was
interesting.
very interesting.
As an intro track, I think it works. An intro track is kind of where you just throw everything at the wall, so that makes sense. Like I can give it that.
I think as an intro, it's kind of good. Because as an intro of an album, it's meant to be like slightly experimental. I mean, this is less fragmented than most K-pop intros that I've heard. It definitely wets the palate Makes you want to know what's next.
I think this might be my favorite album intro ever.
Yeah,
That was kind of magical and quirky at the same time.
Yeah.
I can see why it's like youthful. It's very, very consistent and satisfying D major. Hey.
Is D major like a brighter key for you?
Yeah, definitely.
I hope this continues because like this feels like a fresh vision for what Dream can be. They have the bright, youthful sound, but also they need to sound like NCT, so there needs to be some experimental stuff. And so it's like, you need to figure out how to put those together. I think they have had songs that figure that out very successfully, but also this group is 8 years in. Like, you need to keep evolving. Even like lots of really good ones like Hello Future, it's completely different from how Hello Future is good. Still feels like NCT Dream, but like the way they're achieving it with all these little tiny choppy sounds.
I feel like it's the classic case of the NCT sound being low, high, no middle, maybe with a little sprinkle of middle, but it's the extremes of range. So like the bass was low, which is why it the resonance was like so strange.
I think my
because
brain
it
is still
vibrated. Because
It's
there's
rattling
one.
around in there.
Yeah, because sometimes there's bass solo that you can't
I've become
really
concussed
feel it.
because of the bass.
Yeah, and then also I think just the amount of weird sounds that they use as well. So on top of that sort of range difference, there's also all of these sounds that are in there. So like the weird like woo bass, and then there's like the very like bright synth that's also kind of up here. So I feel like with them it's always a combination of the music and then also like the vocal line. I mean, they sounded great on it. Like I think Jisung had one of the verses, like you could hear his like very like nice resonant low voice.
Resonate!
Well, okay, well, overall, as a whole, very summery, bright, energetic vibes. I actually really liked everyone's voice.
Yeah, they sounded good too.
Yeah, everyone had a great voice.
What imagery does this song present to you?
I don't know, like field of flowers with glitchy butterflies. Oh, okay.
Actually, no, that's a
Disagreement.
lot better than what I was gonna say. I don't disagree.
What were you gonna say?
Like freaking out, like that.
Or just
Specific,
like
editing
faces that
trope.
switch.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
I know
faces that
what you mean.
switch.
It's like in Everything Everywhere All at Once when
Yeah.
the mom goes like, yeah. I think I liked it the most in the beginning when it felt like, oh, like new soundscape of like your sitar thing and then
I guess we could see it as shimmery things or like some things that are like changing on like in the moment. It reminds me of like, oh, I'm watching Arcane right now, and it's like the whole hex deck thing. You know, it's like the shimmer is like it's changing, right? So it's like the sounds remind me of just being in the moment, and like it's just surrounding me. It's like, and then it's like, oh, welcome to the
I gotta say, that beginning really threw me off. Like, because I didn't know if they were just doing like some kind of, I don't know what they were doing.
The beats in the beginning, maybe I wasn't like counting, but like I couldn't really settle on like a pulse with the small beats in the behind. It was like really vague. Maybe it was their intention, but when I listened to it, I couldn't get the pulse. But then when the chorus came back, I was like, okay, this is the chorus.
With that intro, you just kind of feel like you ascend to another land, and they don't have any percussion, so you like really can't tell the downbeat at all, right? It's just kind of like,
Yeah.
they do have a rhythmic pattern.
My guess is that this is the trick, is that it sounds like 6/8, but then occasionally it trips off of that, and it's going to turn out to be in 4/4.
Oh.
This is my hypothesis,
Okay,
but I'm going to try conducting 4/4.
Yeah, 4, yeah, okay, so it's 4.
Okay.
I think that the instrumental set up like a really nice dreamscape. You have all of these textures layering on top of each other, so much so that the syncopation kind of jostles you awake.
There's just some kind of rhythmic dissonance that they were doing that I just couldn't.
They were
latch
easing
onto
you
it.
into the dreamscape.
Well, I was kind of thinking that like maybe that's what they were going for in the beginning. This kind of like what's going on. Even the little like kind of sounds that were going on. Like there was birds in there. There was some other.
So my dreams sound like when I forget to take my normal pills.
The normal pills.
Yeah. Yeah, this drum and bass section is cool. I like the rim knock sound.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's so reverberant. Yeah, this drum sound is really nice.
I like the minimalistic kind of stuff for the breakdowns.
Yeah.
I just don't think it works at the drop. the minimalistic kind of stuff.
Like this is really good right now. Everything up to this point has been really good. Like that sound is so cool. It's just like a muted drum, like really high pitched or something.
Kind of edgy a little bit, yeah.
I feel like it works the first time. This groove works the first time. Yeah. I think just when it comes back, I just need a little more.
A little more pushing us ahead, yeah.
Like this section throws me off a tiny bit because I feel like sometimes the vocals don't always fully line up with the syncopation in the back.
Oh. They have a motif that they end phrases on like the it's like and of 4 and of 2. And that's a very rhythmically strong motif to use.
Like da da da, and then like the synth comes in at the same time, but like emphasizes the like E or the right after the beat that it comes in. So it's like da, like so it feels as if they're hitting at different times, even if they're hitting at the same time.
I think the song is like really downbeat heavy, and so when we hear that like and of 4 and of 2, it jumps out at you, and the instrumentals are also playing it. Like you mentioned, like the guitar is also playing that syncopation. I think that there's like a bass or like a drum sound that also is playing that. You would think that it would propel you to like an even stronger rhythmic motif, but it doesn't because it's the end of the phrase. And I don't necessarily think it adds to like pushing you to the next thing. It doesn't feel necessarily resolved at the end of it.
Right.
I think it's cool in the end, but at my first listen, I was like, I feel like I'm kind of stumbling. It's like you're in a flower field, but every once in a while you trip over a branch, you know?
Well, the coolest part about that was like,
Let's break that down.
Let's break down the
We do get that.
We haven't talked about that section.
It's the elephant in the room. We're just gonna avoid it. It's like we're in therapy right now. We're just avoiding talking about that one thing.
That one little section.
I think some of the drops that happened before that were hinting to something like that because it's a little bit. It's like it manages to be very spacious in the percussion. Anything that's like harmonic almost feels like it's quiet, and the percussion is loud. So that creates like a discrepancy. And so when the music turned into full hyperpop territory, I'm like, oh yeah, it feels like a conclusion that, should be reached. I don't know. I'm kind of glad they did that.
Dreamscape!
I think that's like the motif there. It's like a new thing to focus on every time you listen to it.
I would have loved for a really rad rap verse from Mark over this. That would have been so cool.
I kind of like that there's nothing in the way so you can just like really pay attention to all the texture stuff.
That's such an NCT beat.
Yeah, it is.
Well, here's what I can say. I mean, it's well produced. I mean, the song's well produced. Sure. That section, it was definitely like, I was like, okay, this is very clean. It's not like shooting high and low frequencies at me like haphazardly, you know?
What is it that's so off-putting about it though? Because
nothing about it is like foreshadowed, in my opinion. I mean, we get those weird programmed vocal almost dubby effects in the intro.
I was just gonna say that.
A little bit, but it definitely doesn't tell you what's to come.
Maybe the intro is like us entering the dream, and now we're falling down that, you know, Alice in Wonderland rabbit hole kind of thing with all these just crazy sound effects, and they're singing during this part too.
But is there any rhythmical description for why someone may be immediately thrown off and shocked by the first part of this breakdown?
The sounds are what makes it weird because I think rhythmically everything is pretty simple, like what they're doing. It's just like a bunch of chopped up voices and like, what is it called when it goes backwards?
Reverse?
Yeah, like some of them are reversed, some of them are like pitched differently, and it's like there's just some weird noises. I can see how that would make people find this confusing.
It's also pretty minimal. That's the other thing. It's like there's no drum groove. For this
oh
whole
yeah,
section.
it's like
just,
that's
it's
like
just
the only thing. That's a good point. It's like since there's nothing else, it's really drawing your attention to
like
that.
I feel like we can latch onto it because we're kind of used to listening for rhythmic motifs. Like that's kind of what we do. If you listen for like melodic motifs and not really rhythmic motifs, then there's not that much to latch onto.
Oh, that was a beautiful ad-lib. I think he climbed up the scale while they were singing the chorus melody. He was just like da 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 da.
No, it's so pretty. I really like that. Very pretty. Big proof.
Yes. All right, so the track that we're going to be comparing this intro to is a pre-release single type thing, because the next song that you're reacting to, Flying Kiss, is not the next song on the album. So you won't get that continuity
That's
thing.
okay.
Sorry, Kevin.
I'm glad that we're getting something else to.
Yes, to compare it to. This song, should I just, you guys just constantly keep doing that
Anyways.
throughout my entire script?
Yeah, if you could.
This song blends a dreamy, playful vibe with a narrative about pursuing love and connection. Lyrics and visuals evoke a sense of whimsy, focusing on romantic gestures like sending a flying kiss to someone special, symbolizing affection and lighthearted charm. The song is composed by Ronnie Svetsson, Adrian Thesson, Henrik Heaven, Louis Lindberg, and Hei Chan from NCT Dream wrote the lyrics.
Ooh.
If I had a penny every single time I mispronounce a name. Flying kiss? Are we ready?
Yes.
Shall we give the camera 3, 2, 1, mwah!
So butterfly, yeah.
Butterfly.
Oh.
Oh.
Wow.
Was that heart part of the song?
Hello.
What?
E7 next. Oh.
These are some really cool chords.
I did not expect his voice to sound like that. Wow.
No, Hei-chan is a great singer.
Every chord we're like, wow.
I like the syncopation.
It's back to the root. Whoa.
Okay. Ionian 4 against Lydian 4. That was a weird choice.
Eat you.
Yeah.
Eat you.
Well, bass drum. Oh,
Like me.
it's like an echoey bass drum almost.
Kind of relying on the pizzicato for percussion and the thumps.
Whoa there!
Oh,
Wow.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Wow.
oh, I like that.
The second chord definitely makes it a lot.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I'm such a slut for Glissando. That's so bad.
Whoa. And now that's more.
Yeah, now he does sing the Lydian 4.
Oh. Did eat that
Eating
flower?
flowers.
SOC Ray.
Oh, this is the. It's like a reference to like over the rain, somewhere over the rainbow.
A little bit. Could be.
This is the NCT Dream sounds. This is what I associate with them.
Oh, we're blasting off.
Oh my god, we have a high resonant.
Yeah, it was a very high riser.
I really like this chorus.
That's good. That's good forward momentum. I like that.
Such a different energy, but I enjoyed it.
It kind of goes hard.
Barking out those lyrics, huh? Harmonies on that was pretty cool.
Back to the halftime. It is a bit sudden though. I wish we had a little bit more of the rhythmic transition.
What?
What? Oh, I like that sound.
Yeah, all the little texture on the 808 there.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh, whoa.
I love how conservative they are with the percussion.
I like those drums.
They're doing such boy band things right now.
Ooh, the adlibs are good.
That was a long time I was to wait to bring in the full beat.
Oh my god, I forgot his name, but I do think he's cute.
butterfly hand things. That's so fun.
Yeah, look at the guitar in there.
Oh, they form a heart. That's cute.
Ooh. What that was a fun
cool.
sound effect.
Wait, what? Wait, I don't know how I feel about that.
There was a flying kiss right there.
It's so my ears. Oh, damn it!
I think the last part is a little bit.
Nah, that's just the cherry on top.
They should have whispered it or something. They kind of put a melody to it. It wasn't necessarily like just speaking. I think that made it a little bit too cheeky for me.
It could have been interesting if it were just like this is leading into like a a bassier like final section. Like instead of all the like have him lead down as that like that could have been interesting. It would have been a lot, I feel like, darker and heavier in tone than most of the song, but I feel like it could work.
All these people got Rizz, I gotta say.
I felt rizzed up watching this. I thought they were singing to me.
Yeah, they were, Django.
Yeah, call me guys.
I was really not expecting that. That's cool.
Can't help but smile.
It's so over the top. Oh my god. I'd be fangirling over this, you know.
So we got you, you know, blushing a little bit.
Yeah, it's mostly their like visuals, but like when Jaemin did his like expression, I think he definitely practiced. It was like in the mirror, they were just like they practiced here. Yeah. It was not like.
This song was gorgeous. It had a really inviting atmosphere, a lot of lovely textures that felt like you were just being wrapped up in pastel petals of love. Well, the most interesting elements that Sean wants to talk about is what happened harmonically.
I mean, it's just there's the Lydian fold.
What's Lydian, Sean?
Lydian is the brightest diatonic mode. Characterized by the sharp or the augmented fourth scale degree, where every other diatonic mode has a perfect fourth above the tonic. Lydian has an augmented fourth. And normally, if you hear let's say a G major chord in F major, you would probably think it's 5 of 5. But I think it's going to just like a regular 4 or possibly a 2 or something. I'd need to check, but it's going to a predominant chord from this, not to 5. And like if this were acting as a 5 of 5, it would go to 5 or something, or maybe it could go to like 3 as 6 of 5 or something, but it wouldn't go where it goes. So that's why I'm just counting it as a chord borrowed from Lydian for the color, not for the leading to the dominant function. So.
A lot of natural vibrato coming out in the vocal delivery. Really, really love it.
Oh yeah, but here it goes to Mixolydian. I forgot to mention that.
And what's Mixolydian, Sean?
It's the diatonic mode with a major third and a minor seventh, and other notes that follow from that. It's between Dorian and Ionic, or N major.
What works the best is that they're singing the tonic. Like they're singing the tonic note. And then it also makes it so that when they hit that blue note, it makes that glissando like feel more effective because they've just been streaming the tonic at you.
Yeah, in a way they're kind of creating tension by staying on that one note for a while. It makes it feel even more bluer. Blue, it feels bluey, bluer-y, bluesy.
The chorus might be a little too heavy, even though when taken by itself, it's actually kind of awesome. But the one thing that I wish could happen is halfway through each verse, there's a little bit of that Lydian. It's a little Lydian mode. A little bit of Lydian. It's when you recognize over the. Yeah. But then they would go there. It's just when you hear that. Whoa. What? That's the most Lydian song you can ever lid.
And you said that you wish that they had taken it further.
Yeah,
Where?
because I think the chorus is clearly like, it's like Mixolydian, right? Which has an even bigger emphasis on that note that got delidified. So I wish the verses had a bit more of the lidification. I don't know, it feels like the song has like a concept, but I want to read more into it, but they're not giving it to me. Quite.
So uplifting. The beginning of this progression into what? Like, that's such like a.
And then G minor 7 after, like so chill.
Yeah.
Dee-da-dee-da.
And then
Plagal,
like chorus.
plagal.
Oh yes, plagal. Like that's beautiful. Super cool. It's like, I don't know, pulling you out of the soil kind of progression.
I'm trying to imagine being pulled out of the soil like a mandrake baby.
Oh, well, not the mandrake. No.
Screaming
I wouldn't be
and
screaming.
kicking.
I'd be a happy carrot.
Oh, so
Happy
you're
carrot.
imagining a carrot. being
An angry mandrake baby.
I probably comment on this every single reaction, but NCT Dream really has such gorgeous vocals, and I think that on their more dancey ones, it's easier to get distracted by maybe the flashy instrumentation.
I feel like that's like the normal NCT.
That's it.
First getting into NCT, you end up, because they do all have very unique voices. Haechan has a very unique voice. Jisung now has a very unique voice. Mark has a very unique style.
It's just a lot of their raw, dry vocal with a lot of natural vibrato, and you get to really hear how gorgeous their timbres are. I really love this first verse to pre-chorus, and especially Mark singing as well. Like, everything is just really gorgeous. And then it like kind of like climaxes with the group singing up da 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 da, and you're like, whoa, we're so energetic, because everything before was like really breathy, and then the lower register, and this is like full voice, and we're singing really fast with the rhythm subdivision.
Yeah. Repeating notes like a second gen song.
So boy bands.
It's so boy band.
So fun. Oh my god.
Jisung, let's get it.
Yeah, who is he? Who is he?
Jisung.
Okay.
He's the baby. He's the youngest.
Okay, he's now the love of my life because he blew me a kiss.
Well, if we're keeping with the theme of like this is some kind of a dream thing, that twinkly stuff, the little laser kind of things, that high pitched whatever, and also I think it was a piano like holding those chords and kind of just enveloping the whole sound just in general. It felt like we were in like a different world,
We had
like a dream world kind of.
soundscape, almost like a
A
dreamscape.
dreamscape. Think about that. Like it's giving more credence to the intro. Like we fell down the hole of dreams, and now we're just kind of, they are kissing us a lot. I was pointing it out during the reaction just now, but that high-pitched whining in the right before the chorus, the pre-chorus, was really distracting because it was a little much.
Yes, so we have those pre-chorus builds.
It was just rising the
dog
whole
whistle.
time. Oh, yeah, or like a dog whistle.
You might be a little more sensitive to some of those things than I am. I've noticed I'm not as sensitive to really high frequencies. Probably have hearing damage.
Can't say I'm the biggest fan of the
Yeah, I
songs.
think the riser's a little bit too intense for this song.
But I guess it matches the intensity of this.
Yeah, but I feel like this is better without, like, do a softer riser that matches the pre-chorus and then just let this hit abruptly.
Yeah, that buzzing.
Oh, that like saw wave that they had going on.
I think something about that sound is just making me like hear things. But if I really like push the earbuds in, I'm like, oh, okay, it's just the bass is like very in my bones.
Where, like, I feel like the higher distorted sound fits in that texture better.
I love how that started out as like a yell, and then it eventually rose to a pitch. Yeah. Oh yeah.
They could have gone for the low-hanging key change, and they didn't, and I appreciate it.
Yeah.
They could have gone for the half step. They chose not to. I think that was the right decision.
Instead, they did the very long drum fill.
Yeah, that was cool.
I think it worked though. Those were some spacey-ass drums.
I think I really like the percussion. I really like the really heavy, like echoey snare on on beat 3. I think that's totally of that sound.
I was about to ask, what about the bridge to like the final chorus section is so rhythmically satisfying? Because when I heard it, I was like, so I guess it's like the gray snow stuff that gets me.
Broom.
Broom, broom, broom.
Yeah, those are nice. It's also just the production of the drums is just nice.
They're just so like full and warm, and I feel like they match the whole Flying Kiss feel. Yeah.
You felt like
I
the
felt like
drums
the
sent you
drums
a
were a
little
flying kiss.
Little flying kiss
Yes.
from the drums.
That was the kiss hitting you.
All right, now if I were to ask you, do you prefer the intro Dreamscape or Flying Kiss more?
Oh no.
I prefer Flying Kiss more.
I think I prefer Flying Kiss more.
This one's cheeky, it's catchy, And it makes me feel good things.
Yeah, it might be too cheeky for me to like choose to listen to it, but if it's playing, I'll be like, oh, that was fun to experience.
I think I like the build of the title track.
Yeah. I definitely prefer this one as well. I think the first one, brain was a little too rattled. And this one, it was a meaningful rattled.
Yeah.
You know?
This one's better.
Oh. Okay, so you both like Flying
why.
Kiss?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now you have to tell me why.
It just sounds cooler.
Why does it sound cooler?
Just cause.
Why, cuz?
I think it has a better sense of musical identity.
I
for
agree.
sure.
This one.
What about you?
Me too.
Why?
The intro was a little bit too like everywhere for me. It got a little bit like confusing and it kind of hurt my brain a little bit with the.
You're like, it's too early in the morning, it's 2 p.m.
I think I prefer the intro because they did some really cool stuff with the distorted vocals. But I think I like the weirdness of the intro a little bit more.
Depends on my mood. I like both of them. They're both equally experimental in their own ways. I think the intro track was like very square, but in a good way. Because it isn't until you get to that like middle section where it just starts going haywire.
I felt like it just stood out to me more when they messed with the instrumental or the production in the intro.
I think I preferred the intro track.
Thank you, I did too. I did too.
At its core, the intro track had a really good song to it.
That rising pitch in the pre-chorus really did bother me. Maybe that's just a personal thing for me, but that really did bother me. Whereas the first song, I really, really, really liked that chorus. I can't help but like it more.
There's definitely an audience for like this kind of song, and I don't know if it's me.
I don't know if it's me either.
Unfortunately.
That was really fun. I definitely feel like the intro is still like the really bright shining star, but this is nice.
Yeah.
I am very satisfied and pleased with this song, definitely going on the playlist, but I'm gonna be returning like crazy to experience the wildness that's there.
Yeah, the intro is definitely the standout by far. So far, having only heard these 2 songs from the mini.
Okay.
That was interesting.
Like, listen to that major third on top. Woo! That's so disorienting,
really weird.
right?
And now we're
Oh! Wow. Octatonic melody for the chorus.